Hello, everyone, and welcome to Walking Through the Bible. We live in a world consumed by greed. There are men and women in this world, though mostly men, who are worth billions upon billions of dollars, with much of the rest of the world living on much, much less. Now, I'm not here to denigrate hard work, but I do suggest that there are many in this world who work much harder and receive much less than some of these billionaires. The problem with wealth, though, isn't simply the amount of money, but the propensity to begin to trust that our money will solve all of our problems. Get in trouble with the law? Hire an expensive attorney in order to bend the law to your will. Or, if you live in a corrupt country, buy the judge or the government official prosecuting the crime off and escape trial altogether. Another company getting in the way of your company? Simply attempt a hostile takeover, which, if it works, allows you to then merge their company into yours. There is one problem, though, that riches cannot solve. And to find out what that problem is, let's study Psalm 49. So if you have a Bible with you, you can turn to the book of Psalms to Psalm 49. We're going to be reading from verses 1 through 15. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry, just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So Psalm 49, beginning at verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of the sons of Korah. Hear this, all people. Give ear, all inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor, together. My mouth shall speak wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall give understanding. I will incline my ear to a proverb. I will disclose my dark saying on the harp. Why should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity at my heels surrounds me? Those who trust in their wealth and boast in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. For the redemption of their souls is costly, and it shall cease forever. That he should continue to live eternally and not see the pit. For he sees wise men die. Likewise the fool and the senseless person perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inner thought is that their houses will last forever, their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man, though in honor, does not remain. He is like the beasts that perish. This is the way of those who are foolish, and of their posterity who approve their sayings. Like sheep they are laid in the grave. Death shall feed on them. The upright shall have dominion over them in the morning, and their beauty shall be consumed in the grave, far from their dwelling. But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. The psalm is said to be written to the chief musician, meaning it is meant for temple worship by the sons of Korah, Levites who were involved in the temple. We don't know specifically where this psalm fits into the history of Israel, but sometime between the reigns of David and Hezekiah would not be out of the realm of possibility. The psalm begins by imploring the people to come and listen to him, for he will speak to them wisdom that could be understood. This psalm is meant for the powerful and the powerless, for the rich and the poor, showing us that it is applicable to all men. What is the topic of this psalm? Trusting in riches to solve all your problems, especially ones concerning your standing before God. Verse 5 introduces to us two sets of people. The righteous, those who face evil days due to the actions of the wicked, and the wicked, who trust in their own money to solve their problems. It might be tempting for the righteous to fear these people, but the psalmist says that they shouldn't. The ultimate reason will be given in verse 15, but before getting to that, the psalmist lays out the more immediate reason, which focuses on the wicked, which is the riches cannot buy one's own redemption. Think about it. The richest man in the world cannot pay to God enough money in order to redeem his soul back. And neither can the second richest man or the third richest man. And so on down the line until you get to the poorest man. There is nothing that man can give to God in exchange for his soul. Such a teaching sounds very familiar for the Christian, for in Matthew chapter 16, in verses 24 to 26, there we read this. Then Jesus said to his disciples, If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? Christians might think that Jesus is merely teaching something new, but he's not, for his teaching is based on passages like Psalm 49. But not only can the rich not give money to God in exchange for their soul, they also can't use their money in order to cheat death. Mankind does not live forever ever since God removed the tree of life. Medical science has extended our lives, and precious few can live into their 100s, but we don't live to 200 years old, or 500 years old, or 2,000 years old. Riches cannot buy earthly immortality, so the rich have a problem. They cannot avoid death, and therefore cannot avoid God's judgment. They can't pay God off, so they can't buy their way out of suffering the consequences for their wicked deeds. Rich people die like poor people die, and wise people die like foolish people die. And at death, whatever man possesses will be left to another. Nothing will accompany us except our deeds at death. Why then should the righteous fear the wicked? For they really can't do the righteous harm. Why? Because God will redeem the soul of the righteous from the power of the grave and receive them to himself. That is the hope of the righteous, that death will not be the end of life. The end of life on this earth, yes, but not the end of life in God's presence. For the wicked, only eternal death awaits, but for the righteous, eternal life. So in death, physically there is no difference between those who trust in riches and those who are poor, but spiritually there is. For the rich are wicked, they will not inherit eternal life. That only is the hope of those who follow God in faith. Knowing this, let's all seek to follow God in faith. We'll conclude Psalm 49, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Psalm 49, verses 16 to 20, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time.
We thank you for watching Walking Through the Bible today. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. But if you like this video, we ask that you consider subscribing to our channel so you won't miss out on other videos in our series, as well as share this video among your friends so that the saving message of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.